Thank you. I ended up with one breath in there that I would not necessarily recommend, but for the most part, I think that comes close to what we're expecting.
So, where would you recommend the breath?
What I usually take the breath is, I've actually been dropping in the second measure, second system. I've been dropping some of the sixteenths and the repetitious sixteenths in an effort to grab a breath. That's at least one suggestion. One of the other ones I had is to breathe on a seam. If you noticed, before I got there, I was breathing. I like breathing on that seam and kind of using, beginning right with that as an anacrusis. An anacrusis to the return of the original theme. But by the time I get taking that breath, I need a little something before I get to the end. And I simply forgot to take the breath on those spots. The only other place that you could, I think you could do, right there, between the B flat and the low E flat. Okay, if you need something. All right. Does that make sense? Question? Yes.
So, you don't like using one-on-one at all?
I don't. And the reason for that, now, having said that, one-on-one can work real nicely, second system, third measure, that beast of a lick. Because you're coming off the F, you can go ahead and do that. That's absolutely fine.
Well, what about in the first system and the last two measures? That would seem to me to be a lot easier to do one-on-one.
You could. The reason why I don't is listen. It's like da da.
Okay.
It's my only reason. If one-on-one facilitates you fine, and then if you used one-on-one in that system that you're referring to, I guess it would be on the second B flat.
Yes.
Right? Then what would you use on the first B flat?
At the end of the third measure there?
Yes. That very first B flat where you're coming from the D, would you also use one-on-one on that? The reason why I'm saying that is one of the things with fingerings is that, especially if you have huge timbral differences in fingerings, if they're too close together, the human ear actually has pitch memory, believe it or not. And it'll actually pick up on, they'll hear, wow, that note sounded different than this one. So what I recommend is if you use one-on-one and the B flats are that close together, use one-on-one for both of them. Try to match those timbres. It's not always that we can do that, but it's a time to do it. I don't know how many of you know Creston Sonata? You'll find, see, I can't remember. I can't even remember that place, but a lot of people try to use the front F going up to it, and then they use palm key F, and they're so close together that it really sounds different. The purpose is to try to match your timbres. It makes much more smooth, even tone.
Okay, and so what's the advantage of the note in Fairlane, the high E flat, or is that from the oboe?
That's for the oboe.
That's what I thought. It just dawned on me as I started talking.
That's exactly. There's a lot of those are confusing because none of them apply to the saxophone.
Yeah, because I tried for like 10 minutes going, how does this work?
Anyone else? Questions? Contests? Anything that I did that was crazy and unusual?
No.
Anything that I put in the pamphlet that you don't understand or have questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.